Nakumicha and Education PS, Dr. Belio Kipsang are currently in Kakamega following the indefinite closure of Mukumu Girls High School and Butere Boys High School. The closure of the schools was occasioned by the health scare that saw 2 students at Mukumu Girls succumb. Alan Ochanda is in Kakamega and we now cross over live to him. Good afternoon to you, Alan. What more information do you have regarding investigations into the health scare?
Good afternoon to you, Purity. Yes, indeed, we are at Kakamega General Hospital, where the CS Health, Dr. Susan Nakumicha, and Education PS, Dr. Belio Kipsang, are currently visiting this particular health facility, where the first incidents where Mukumu Girls students who actually caught that particular strange and unknown disease were actually admitted here, where first there were actually 111, and that was actually last week. It necessitated the closure of that particular school on Tuesday, a day before yesterday. And so yesterday we also saw Butere Boys High School, where at least 5 students were admitted with the strange disease. Of course, the samples are being still examined medically so that the results could be out. So over 100 were also affected by that particular disease, also necessitating the closure of that particular learning institution yesterday. So the closure of those 2 institutions, learning institutions, really necessitating the visit by those key stakeholders from Education and Health Ministry. So at this particular time, we are actually here with the CS and the PS Education, who are still really looking and just doing a fact-finding visit in this particular medical facility. Remember that when Mukumu Girls was actually affected, we unfortunately lost 2 students. And as of yesterday, we had one who was actually still in ICU. And so we are waiting for that particular official statement from the CS Health as to whether the statistics, how it looks in those 2 particular schools, which have since proceeded to indefinite closure to just pave way for the examination and just arresting the situation, because in the 2 incidents we've seen officials from the Kemri really taking those samples for further medical examination, which will actually inform how the medics can actually deal with that situation. Because I was off yesterday at Butere Boys, yes, they were actually exhibiting symptoms of diarrhea, vomiting, weak joints, but they have actually ruled out any possibility of typhoid and cholera, which the preliminary reports had actually pointed their fingers at. But Purity, from here, we shall be moving to Mukumu Girls, where, of course, learning has actually been temporarily suspended after the girls were actually allowed to leave. And also to Butere Boys with this particular team here, the Health CS and the PS for Education. But key to note is that the administration, the management of Mukumu Girls has actually really apportioned that particular blame to what they term, quote, that toxic environment created by the media. But of course, this is actually quite a dire situation where the school is actually losing 2 girls to this particular strange disease. The same incident happened last year where 2 students actually lost their lives. And so with the happenings here, just to take abundance of caution, that's what actually occasioned the closure of these 2 schools. But of course, we shall also be posing those questions to the health CS to ask whether there actually could be fears that there's actually an outbreak of that particular strange disease to the neighboring schools, communities, because of course those schools are actually located next to health facilities, next to the communities. Could there be a risk and maybe a risk of the neighboring communities really being in danger of those particular strange disease? And of course, they should now be working to ensure that if at all the 2 schools have actually been hit with similar or rather same disease, then how could they really arrest that particular situation? Because the 2 schools are actually far apart, they're not neighboring. Then the students who are suffering there, they're actually exhibiting same symptoms. So that's quite suspect. And so from here, Purity, when we get to Mukumu Girls and Butere Boys High School, we shall be bringing these happenings here live to our viewers, of course, on KTN News, when the CS and PS really leaves this particular hospital here to those 2 institutions. Purity.
Thank you so much, Alan Ochanda, for that update. The Education PS, Dr. Belio Kipsang, and the CS for Health, Susan Nakumicha, are currently at those schools where a disease outbreak was reported. And as soon as we get more information regarding the report, then we shall let you know. In yet another unfortunate incident, a school teacher died on the spot, while 8 pupils and a school manager sustained serious injuries after 2 private school buses collided head-on at Tokyo Stage along Kagio Road in Ndia, Kirinyaga West sub-county. The accident involved 2 school buses, one that belonged to Kutu's Municipality Primary School in Mwea, while the other one was from the Trinity Academy in Kagio. During the morning hours, a rush to pick and take the pupils to school. Grace Kanini, one of the eyewitnesses, said the driver of one of the buses lost control while trying to overtake the other one that was picking a student, adding that they tried what they could to save the students.
Ni kama mmoja ameaga tayari na huyo hao wengine tunajaribu kuwatoa kwa gari.
Kwa sababu ya hii accident imetokezea usubuhi. Kitu kama mwendo wa saa 12 ndio tumekuja kujaribu kusaidia manusura ili tuweze kusaidia. Wengine wamekuwa watoto wamepelekwa hospitali, manake ni gari mbili za kupeleka watoto shule.
Tulisikia gari ikipika honi. Badala ya dakika chache tukasikia imepigana. Yaani tukasikia mgurumo. Sasa kukimbia kuja tukapata ni gari mbili zimepigana, zimegongana, hii ya Triunity na Kutus Municipality. Sasa wakati tukifika ndio tuliokoa hawa watoto wote, tukawatoa, alafu tukatoa wale walikuwa wamegongwa sana. Kuna wale walikuwa kwa Triunity na hii Kutus Municipality, tukawachukua au wakapelekwa hospitali. Lakini kuna wengine walikuwa msichana mmoja alikuwa amekwama kwa hiyo gari ya Triunity, lakini baadaye tumemtoa, lakini ako hai na anajaribu kutembea.
All right, our condolences to the family of the teacher. Elsewhere, the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has stated that the bipartisan talks should be conducted in a genuine manner with no hidden cards under the table. Musalia, who was speaking in Mathira, Nyeri County during the burial of the ANC chairman Philip Gathua, lauded President Ruto for extending an olive branch to the opposition leader Raila Odinga. Musalia maintained that the bipartisan talks should result in unifying all Kenyans and creating a peaceful working environment for the nation. At the same time, Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga expressed that the constitution should be followed, insisting that Parliament should be given the mandate to conduct the process.
Ampeleke bunge, hayo mambo yafanyiwe bunge na yaishie wapi? Sababu, na ni vizuri tuseme, and I don't mind saying this, hakuna mtu amekaribiana na Raila maneno yake itatembea. Alienda kwa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, what happened? Akaenda kwa Moi, what happened? Sasa hata hii serikali ambayo tumengangania hivi na maombi mnataka tena achanganye na ile mambo yake.
And our mission is to unify and bring stability and peace in the country. Na ndio kwa sababu mimi naungana na governor wetu kusema kwamba the president, even in victory, President William Ruto has shown magnanimity. He has extended a hand of magnanimity. He has said, Kenya is ours, let us pull together, let us move forward.
Thank you so much for staying with the news desk. Time for us to take our first commercial break. Don't go too far. We still have plenty more coming up in a bit. Stay with us.
Your wealth in 90 seconds, Brought to you by Standard Chartered Priority Banking.
My name is Edith Chumba. I take care of consumer, private, and business banking for Standard Chartered Bank in Kenya and East Africa.
Will your wealth keep up with your children's studies?
Wealth management is a very important proposition that supports parents to plan for their children's education. According to the Wealth Expectancy Report that we received last year, clients said to us that what matters most to them is the education of their children. At Priority Banking, we have enabled our clients to invest locally within the money market funds, what we call onshore investments, and we've also enabled them to invest offshore. Within the offshore space, a parent can choose the country or the market that their child is going to study, and we enable you to invest in that currency within that country. We have a team of certified relationship managers and investment advisors who would help our customers to travel this journey of investment. Join Priority Banking and start your journey to invest for your child.
Join Standard Chartered Priority Banking today. Email prioritybanking.ke@sc.com. Wealth expertise made to matter.
Imperfections, blackheads. Try Garnier's Pure Active 3-in-1 Charcoal, powered by salicylic acid and purified charcoal to reduce pimple-causing germs by 99.5%. One product, 3 uses for a pure skin. Garnier Pure Active 3-in-1 Charcoal, #1 in South Africa, by Garnier Naturally.
Digger Classifieds is an all-in-one platform to find jobs, buy and sell motor vehicles or properties, to pay tributes to the special people in your life. www.digger.co.ke, the one address in Kenya that everyone loves to visit. Digger Classifieds.
Thank you so much for keeping it here on Youth in Agriculture. Today we are all about the honey value chain.
We bring a consortium of honey value chain players within at continental level.
What are the critical areas that a farmer needs to really pay much attention to?
Majorly, we're looking at trees. If you look around me, you'll see trees and mostly also bananas. They provide that foliage for the bees so that they're able to produce more honey. Approximately around 70,000, you're able to establish yourself as a bee farmer with around 10 beehives.
What challenge would you say you are trying to address, or rather you are addressing with this consortium?
Up to around 90% of wild forage you see around is up to bee pollination. And as a result, that's why we're coming on board now with focusing on bees.
This is Youth in Agriculture, and my name is Susan Wangi.
Mortein Doom, with its trusted formulation. It provides protection in seconds. So spread the Mortein Doom message of how we, you and I, can fight to end malaria. Mortein Doom, Kenya's #1 choice.
Thank you so much for staying with our news desk. Let's continue with our coverage. And at the Embu Business Expo, Trade Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria says plans to establish counties aggregation industrial parks are at advanced stage. Trade CS Kuria has revealed that the Kenya government is in the advanced stages of establishing county aggregation and industrial parks through a partnership. Speaking as he officially opened a two-day business expo at the University of Embu, the Trade CS noted that the national and county governments will each contribute 250 million shillings for the park, where traders will do value addition and directly export products.
We are very grateful for the exhibition yenye tunakuwa naye hapa leo na even for tomorrow, because the county government have realized that we need to do this so that you can go to the outside market, and we also appreciate it for even the tourism sector kwa sababu inatupulia more people within from other counties to Embu.
The objective of this expo is to bring together various investors from all fields of the economy, including agriculture, education, motor industry, banking and finance, manufacturing, healthcare, insurance, ICT, beauty, hospitality, government agencies, NGOs, fashion and design, food and nutrition, building and construction, among others.
I overheard Waziri saying we are going to support you. Little did I know to see a young lady who is so focused on enhancing her business. She has been able to actually scale her business, but to a level where she can't do it anymore. And all she asked was, all we need is finance. Yes. And I know the governor assured that we're going to get finance. Yes, the speaker before me actually said, what we are lacking as businesses is market, and if you have the market, you don't have the finance.
Tuko na mpango as in all counties to build what we are calling the county aggregation and industrial park. Na hiyo maneno tunaanza hii July. We are now going through the models and the designs with the president. Hata jana tulishinda na chair of council of governors, Madamano Ikulu, with the president tukireview maneno yote. We are going to do in two phases. Wananchi hawa wako mbele yetu. Sisi ndio tunajaribu kufanya catch up. Ile nimeona hapa leo, nafikiria ni sisi tulisahau wananchi hapo mbeleni. Wananchi wakasema nyinyi mmetusahau, tutawaacha, sisi tumesonga. Na kama naacha kukuambia we have some work to do, because hawa wananchi wako mbele, sisi ndio tuko nyuma. Us as leaders, us as a government are the ones who are doing the catch up. Mwananchi is really ahead of us. Hawa watu wa biashara, nishukuru watu wa chemba kwa ile kazi na rafiki yangu Mungu Mate.
And crossing our borders, former U.S. President Donald Trump is now a criminal defendant. He surrendered Tuesday at a courthouse in Manhattan and pleaded not guilty to 34 felony charges of falsifying business records. VOA's Veronica Balderas followed the developments on this historic day.
An image the United States had never seen before. A former president arriving to a criminal court building to hear the charges of his own indictment. In the courtroom, Donald Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg explained the charges during a press conference.
Donald Trump and others made 3 payments to people who claimed to have negative information about Mr. Trump. One of the 3 people that they paid to keep quiet was a woman named Stormy Daniels. Less than 2 weeks before the presidential election,
Bragg described the role played by Michael Cohen, Trump's ex-lawyer and now a key witness for the prosecution in the alleged scheme. He said the evidence would show that Cohen was acting at the direction of the former president.
Michael Cohen wired $130,000 to Stormy Daniels' lawyer. That payment was to hide damaging information from the voting public. The scheme violated New York election law, which makes it a crime to conspire to promote a candidacy by unlawful means.
The prosecutor added the payment also exceeded the federal campaign contribution cap, although neither that nor the violation of the New York election law was specified in the indictment. Trump's lawyers have said they'll try to have the charges dismissed. Even if the case goes to trial, the defense team will have multiple options to appeal a potential guilty verdict. Outside the courthouse, protesters made their voices heard, and some scuffles ensued. Jennifer Fisher, a Trump detractor, spoke with VOA.
I fear for the rise of fascism. I think Trump is leading us that way, and I want to fight for democracy.
Trump supporter Dion Cheney downplayed the proceedings.
A circus, a paid actor up there indicting a sitting president and somebody who's running for a president for his third win. They're trying to stop him, and that's all that's happening.
Trump himself is scheduled to deliver remarks this evening when he's back at Mar-a-Lago. A defiant attitude will be on display, says George Washington University law professor Paul Schiff-Berman.
I think it is very likely that the president will continue to attack the judge and the prosecution as being unfair or somehow a witch hunt. I can't see how that really helps his case. The case is going to be heard based on the facts and the law.
Nonetheless, Trump's supporters will probably join him tonight for what could turn out to be another opportunity to boost his 2024 presidential bid.
And Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki warns a persistent lack of funds in counties dealt with as a crisis, noting that service at grassroots levels are suffering. The Council of Governors Health Committee chair, who spoke on the sidelines of the first ever International Public Health Conference in Kenya, said that health was worst hit by lack of funds as no medication is being bought. According to the governor, there was a danger of county services grinding to a halt if the cash crunch persists.
We are hard hit as the health sector because the biggest loser in this cash crunch is actually health, because health does not have seasons. Our people can get sick anytime. Health is a requirement all the time, and therefore, just like you can never find a closed police station. We never close our hospitals. We are always open. And if we close them, our people will go somewhere else, and we do not want them to go somewhere else, because somewhere else means they have to start seeking alternative form of treatment, which could be traditional, mitishamba or maombi. At the moment, counties, we are on our knees, because we are not only missing money to pay salaries for health workers, we are also missing money to buy commodities and also be able to support systems that support health. And therefore, it is our request to the Treasury to prioritize. After they have hit their debt obligation, the first charge should not be Parliament, it should not be National Assembly, it should not be Senate, it should not be the ministries at the headquarters. It should be the health sector at the village. And that is why, as counties, we are looking for ways of separating the money that goes to other facilities from what usually is collected and taken back to CRF to be utilized in any way.
Pastoralists living in Tana Delta in Tana River County have urged the government to control the number of livestock crossing to the county in search of pasture due to the ongoing drought. According to the pastoralists, the livestock cross into the Tana River County, depleting the already scarce resources.
Wameifanya hapa Delta kama grazing area, lakini sisi tuna graze wanyama wetu ambao wanatoshana na sisi, tusiletewe mifugo mingi ambao haitusaidii. Akimaliza nyasi, akimaliza mashamba, anachukua ng'ombe zake anaenda. Kukinyesha kwake hatukaribishi. Kukikosekana kwake anakuja kwetu. Sisi tunataka tukaribishane, lakini si kukaribisha mtu tu, tumechoka.
Ng'ombe ambazo itatoka kaunti zingine ama sub county zingine zipitie
kwa mipangilio ambayo inahitajika. Ikifika kwa sub-county ya Tana Delta tujue yani wametoka wapi, ni ng'ombe kiasi gani na watakuja watalisha maeneo gani, maana Kipini yetu division ni sehemu ya scheme.
Hiyo unaathiri sana, analeta ugonjwa na ng'ombe iko nyingi, anakula manyasi na malisa. Kama maji ilikuwa ni kidogo, wanapiga maji mpaka anakausha. Yani anatuletea madhara mingi sana. Hata mgonjwa ambao alikuwa haiko eneo hii yetu, saa hii amesuka ng'ombe zetu, hata kwa mgonjwa ambao hajulikani.
That's the latest at this hour. Thank you so much for watching KTN News Desk. My name is Purity Museo Nzuki. I'll see you again at 2 o'clock with Africa Speaks. Keep watching KTN News.
KTN News.